As of Boruto Two Blue Vortex Chapter 17, Sarada and Mitsuki are currently on a mission to eliminate the Shinju, after splitting up Matsuri and Ryu away with Konohamaru taking Matsuri by himself and Sarada leading Ryu away. The goal to kill the Shinjus has started to take place. Shikamaru has made it clear that in order for the mission to be successful, Team 7 would have to befriend the Shinjus and then kill them when they let their guard down. At the end of the chapter, they have successfully done that, but now with chapter 18 dropping around the corner, I do want to talk about the potential battle between Sarada and Mitsuki versus Ryu that is going to happen. Ever since the start of Two Blue Vortex, Sarada and Mitsuki have started to gain more of the spotlight compared to their Part 1 selves, where they have been included more into the main missions and story arcs as of late. Personally, I've enjoyed seeing the other main characters of the series actually have some value, as they somewhat have felt left behind while Boruto and Kawaki were moving the plot. And the roles have reversed currently, as this mission will not allow Boruto to leave the village, as Jura is hunting him, but he will not go after Boruto if Boruto stays in the village, since Jura has great respect for Konoha. We saw this in the latest chapter when Jura went to the local bookstore to learn more about the ninja world, meaning that this battle most likely won't have any interruptions. Barring any other Shinju invading in, such as Hidari and Mamushi, Sarada and Mitsuki will have Ryu to themselves alongside Yodo and Araya, who are scouting all of these characters at once. Ryu has already familiarized himself to Sarada and Mitsuki, where he realized that Konoha ninja are pretty nice, where even Jura has vouched for them because he has respect for the Leaf Village. At the end of chapter 17, Ryu and Matsuri have been seemingly split up by Team 7 and the Sand Ninja, where they are now primed to be betrayed and killed off. Konohamaru seemed to have Matsuri to feel some type of way with her being uneasy and unable to speak properly, which will make it easier to kill her when the time is right, where even Shikamaru anticipated for this to happen. Meanwhile, Ryu is going to be a lot more difficult, as he is not in this position despite being surrounded by more people. And with Shinki being devoured by claw grimes, the power level of Ryu most likely is going to be much higher than Shinki's due to the 10 tails boosting the overall powers of the devoured characters. With the intention to kill the Shinjus, according to Kashin Koji, the chances of Team 7 failing this mission are not very high, as long as certain variables don't mess up the situation, such as Boruto heading into the battle or Himawari leaving the village. So let's actually talk about this upcoming battle between Sarada and Mitsuki versus Ryu. The first thing we have to establish is, can Team 7 and the Sand Ninja actually catch the Shinjus by surprise and kill them when their guard is down? I think it's more likely for Matsuri to get caught lacking compared to Ryu, simply because Konohamaru has her not thinking properly. And I'm going to be honest here, knowing how powerful these villains are, I don't think it's going to be as simple as the mission is intended to be. These Shinjus are insanely powerful and intelligent to exist as their own entity and form their own thoughts, such as Matsuri having feelings for Konohamaru and Ryu being non-passive aggressive towards Sarada and Mitsuki after being familiar with them. For all simple purposes though, both Shinjus could be killed and we wouldn't be worrying about them actually battling. However, knowing how Boruto Two Blue Vortex likes to put the story in a spin, I think Ryu will realize that he is going to be backstabbed despite the fact that he currently has his guard down. This mission not only was assigned by Shikamaru, but also through Kashin Koji as well, since he was the one who gave the instructions to Shikamaru to take down some of the Shinjus. Koji's prescience ability is incredible, as he can see multiple timelines that can affect the future of the story, and with the information he has able to obtain from the future, he is going to do anything to make sure that he impacts the story positively by pointing characters in the right direction. This includes this mission where he knows the chances of Team 7 failing is not very high, which Koji seems to be playing these percentages in order to kill the Shinjus. With him seeing multiple outcomes, Koji and Shikamaru are confident that Team 7 and the Sand Ninja have the ability to take down Ryu and Matsuri, even if they fail to take them down by surprise. If Konohamaru does run the fade with Matsuri, I think it's fair to expect Konohamaru to hold his own against her with the abilities that he has, and with the fact that he has become more of a focal point in the story as well. In the scenario that Ryu doesn't get killed by a surprise attack but instead fights Sarada and Mitsuki head on, this will allow Sarada and Mitsuki to fully display their strength in TBV against a legitimate powerhouse. Now both characters already have fought, such as Sarada teaming up with Boruto to kill Hidari and Mitsuki battling Boruto. However, I think both characters can fight at a higher power, especially with Sarada. We all know Sarada has unlocked her mangekyou sharingan ever since the end of part 1, but we haven't seen it since. It's not confirmed that she has the ability to activate the MS on her own, and personally, I believe she still doesn't know that she can use it yet. When the omnipotence event occurred making Boruto the villain of his own story, Sarada was so distressed to see her friend lose his livelihood that she awakened the mangekyou. In a battle against Ryu, who can display incredible powers such as Shinki's Iron Sand and magnetic particles, I think it's reasonable to say that both characters will be pushed to the brink of death in the chance that they fail to take Ryu down with his guard dropped. This could change drastically if Yodo and Araya join the battle. However, currently they are scouting the mission with Yodo using her super hearing ability to hear the conversation amongst both parties. And let's be honest here, both characters not doing shit in this potential battle but to provide intel to send back to the village. They would just be cannon fodder in my personal opinion, so they don't matter, and if Ryu discovers that Konoha Ninja are working with Sen Ninja for the same mission, it could compromise their original goal of taking him down by surprise. And despite all of this, I still think Ryu will realize what will happen and will be able to defend himself using his black sand, which will force Sarada and Mitsuki to fight him head on at full power. And with Koji calculating their chances of succeeding to be very high, Sarada and Mitsuki most likely have enough to kill Ryu by themselves, which would be a great way to truly gauge how much stronger they have become post timeskip. Amongst all of the new gen characters seen in action so far in TBV, Boruto has been the only character that really displayed all of the new abilities and powers that he has gained through the 3-year timeskip. Obviously, he had a massive advantage with Koji training him via the Prescience Jutsu. However, at the same time, with the scale of the series getting bigger over time, I think it's fair to expect more abilities from the other main characters like Sarada and Mitsuki, especially in this upcoming battle. Mitsuki has shown glimpses of his Sage Mode a few times in part 1, especially in the anime, not many times in the manga, and has used his Sage Mode for the first time for an extended period of time when he tried to kill Boruto in TBV. In a battle against a Shinju as strong as Ryu, Mitsuki will be forced to use his Sage Mode to the maximum output, where it would damage his body permanently, or in a scenario where he could even die. We know that Mitsuki's Sage Mode is not perfected, as it destroys his body from the inside whenever he does use it. And with him using it more effectively against Boruto where it didn't hurt his body, Mitsuki could draw even more power from the Sage Mode that we haven't seen before. However, that could damage his body even further, where Ryu could use jutsus to slow Mitsuki down, such as the Magnetic Barrier Palm Jutsu, which holds characters in place using the Iron Sand, and can even crush a character from within using the Black Sand. In a scenario where Mitsuki could die or be put on the brink of death, I think this is how Sarada can reactivate her mangekyou sharingan, as she doesn't have control over the MS and will need to be put in a dire situation in order to do so. And I think it's time for Sarada to really show out her true powers, as she's gotten much stronger post timeskip, but we don't know where she actually stands in the power hierarchy of the story. At the bare minimum, Shikamaru and Koji expect her and Mitsuki to be able to fight Ryu. However, with the urgency that Shikamaru has been describing these Shinjus, I think it's going to be a rock fight for Sarada and Mitsuki to be able to kill Ryu in this mission. Besides, seeing brand new abilities from Sarada's MS and potentially a Susanoo would bring more variety to her combat style, since she is a fun character to see in action. So let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section below. Do you think Sarada and Mitsuki will be able to successfully pull off a sneak attack on Ryu while his guard is down in order to go for the kill, or do you think Ryu will be able to catch on? Koji's calculations have them succeeding thanks to his Prescience Jutsu, so in one way or another, Ryu should be killed off by the two. So whether they sneak attack him or actually run the fade, we will see Sarada and Mitsuki in action again, and hopefully it's the latter, as I would love to see the other two main characters of the story actually fight with their backs against the wall with no help from Boruto, since he cannot leave the village. So let me know how you guys feel about this video in the comment section below. So if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell as well, and have a good day. Peace.